live. Yes. No. But where am I live? Huh. It shows that I'm live, yet I can't see my own live. There we are. All right. And let's... There we are. Hello. All right. Let's see. Can I even see or hear myself? There we are. Hello. All right. Let's see. Can I even see or hear myself? There we are. Hello. All right. Let's see. Can I even see or hear myself? There we are. Hello. All right. It shows that I'm live, yet I can't see my own live. Let's see. I have it going through my my mixer. So, of course, I can't hear myself. I don't have my headphones on. But I'm not going to put on headphones. We're going to keep this nice and clean. I'm back from Vegas, Las Vegas. Went to the NAB show. Had a few missions in me going over there. And I think I accomplished quite a few of them. So I'm a little excited about that. There we go. So, for those who know who I am Carlos Phoenix with Live Streaming Master, and this is my year. This is the year that I've been slowly preparing for a very long time. And so part of what I've been preparing for is to create solutions for, hey, what's up, Zeph? Preparing solutions for content creators from soup to nuts is what I like to call it. A all-in-one package or all-in-one solution where you can just go to one person, one place, one service where you can get all the tools you need, such as cameras and hard drives and everything you need to start creating your content empire. But as much as you're still going to be using social media and maybe YouTube and things of that nature to kind of market and promote yourself, I want to be able to offer solutions where you are the person that's going to control your brand and scale with support such as advertising and so on. So advertising was my last bit that I was missing, and not anymore. So now, and I'll be talking more and more about this as time goes on, but the ad solution for those who are ready for those type of ads is there. Now, how I'm going to be doing that is what I'll be announcing later in the next weeks or months, as long as it takes to make sure that it's all in place. But what it means to content creators who have a lot of content, who are generating content, who want to be able to use live, who want to be able to keep the conversation and the being able to chat and being able to bring in guests and all that type of stuff, all that is still in place, except now instead of using strictly social media, you're going to access people in their living rooms, access people in their televisions, their mobile phones, but with your control, not the control of your social media platform that you're strictly using. Because if you noticed, for example, in groups, they have changed the way you can actually stream to groups. In Facebook, you're able to still stream, but you now have to use RTMP. For some people, that's confusing. For some people, that's a little bit of annoyance. It's like a hindrance, and so on. And there's dozens and dozens of tools that can be used to create live broadcasts: StreamYard, Ecamm, vMix. You can go as high end as TriCasters with Visit. And fortunately, a majority of those I offer and sell. But I also sell other solutions where you don't have to go so deep in the pocket, at least not long term. Maybe initially you go a little deep in the pocket, but then that's it. You're done with your expenditures, and now you're focused on content creation. And then as the solution goes, as you're creating more content, then I offer more things. But one of the things that I wanted to do is create or have more content on my website so that people understand better what kind of options and solutions there are. And so I've been, editing since I've been back. And let's see, I'm just going to randomly select one. here's basically one of the videos that I was putting together, and I'm going to lower the volume to this. What's up, Maurice? How are you? Welcome. So one of the things I'm showing here is just a quick little video edit. Let me lower the volume. So I'll be showing off some products that we offer from the manufacturers themselves. What's up, Anna? How are you? And so these are the things that I've been editing together that I'll be putting on my website. I'll be sharing here and there with you guys. And then I'll do Q&As and all sorts of things. So these are all the tools that I sell. So I sell these high-end tools. What's up, Anna? I missed you too. And so a lot of people don't know that I even offer some of this stuff. Some of you have been watching me, and as much as I might mention it, you don't realize that these pieces of hardware are the things that I offer. So anyway, I'm going to lower the volume on that. So yeah, I sell this technology. You know, it's some really cool technology. I sell all sorts of gizmos and gadgets and that type of thing for all sorts of industries. So, for example, for churches, I offer stuff for churches. For schools, I offer stuff for schools. What you end up finding recently, and you know, when I go to YouTube, it's like, wow, everybody's focusing on only one solution or maybe two. You start realizing that all these content creators are all kind of looking the same because they're using the exact same tools, the exact same camera, the exact same microphones, and so on and so forth. And what I've done is, through a lot of work, connections, conversations, is say, hey, manufacturers, you're not getting noticed by the smaller consumer, by the end user, because they're going to YouTube and they're just seeing 2 or 3 solutions. And what I want to be able to say is, look, for your specific one, the solution you're using is not maybe the best solution. I want to be able to offer you something that fits exactly to what you're doing, that is not more complex than, you know, what you want to do, but lower cost or better light or better imagery or better such and such. So that's part of what I've been working on doing. And I'm excited as to all the new stuff that I'll be offering. Now, one of the key things of what I wanted to do is make sure that I'm offering, especially on the low end, products that are not only amazing, that are easy to use, but by the most part, you're not paying a monthly fee, right? Because a lot of the monthly fees are great for people who are just making a good amount of money. Now, StreamYard is a good low-end solution, and no, not insulting them by any means. I love I mean, I've used them, and I love their work. But it's still, no matter what kind of features they add, fairly low-end. Now, why? Multi-camera is a big deal. Yes, you can do something like this, but it's still, what I would consider low-end. I want to be able to really control some of the feature sets and how you can upgrade your features. So here, for example, I'm showing off, like I'm watching, obviously, with my phone, any kind of comments and stuff like that. Here is my entire solution. This is everything in this particular stream. And I'm not even using a computer. Now, I'm using a computer here where I'm able to show off, some videos from the computer because I'm editing on that computer. And you'll be surprised at like how I'm even editing some of this stuff.
George, he meant that.
Oh, great. Now my brother's calling. So I will have to tell him that I'm going to call him later. There we go. You caught good footage there in Las Vegas. Yeah, I did some good footage. I used a fantastic camera, which became part of my portable studio. I really intended to go live from the location, from Vegas, but it became more cumbersome than I wanted it to be. And then I didn't want to have mistakes and issues and errors. And on top of that, I noticed that every time I walked up to a table, they weren't ready. There a lot of people at NAB, as much as it's about media, they weren't ready for media to just walk up and go. You kind of had to like introduce yourself, let them know, hey, I want to do an interview, this and that. And then they had, oh, well, you got to talk to this guy, and then you had to talk to this guy. It was a nightmare. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, this is not going live and just walking up to a table was not going to make sense because then you guys would be waiting. And yeah, my brother was the one that called. Thank you, Anna. And so I was like, okay, this is not a solution. So I decided I'm just going to record and then eventually just kind of release videos. The reason I wanted to do videos, and what's up, Simon? Thank you for hanging out, is because I wanted to have content for specific products inside of my website indexed to their product. Then I'll also write some blogs and elaborate more than even what the creators may have mentioned. Another thing I want to do is be able to have content where you can see the reason you'd want to buy this over that. So even though I'm currently using, let's say, this YOLO box, the Ultra, my air conditioning just kicked in and I forgot to turn it off. So I apologize if there's a lot of rumbling. But the key is what I'm trying to say is some tools may look good for maybe a church solution. And church was actually a big deal in Las Vegas. I know PTZ Optics was very focused on it. I know YOLO Box was kind of focused on it. But the key is that different solutions fit different scenarios. And people try to Frankenstein a solution that's made for one thing and try to mix it in for something else. Not always very helpful, not always beneficial to the user, and definitely not beneficial to the consumer who's watching the content creator. Next thing that I was trying to do is, because one of the things I'm focusing on heavily is I want to be a package for everyone. Meaning, I want you to create your content, have the correct solution for the content you're creating, and then as much as you're still using social media and as much as you're still using your Facebooks, your YouTubes, your TikToks, your Instagrams, and all type of stuff, I want you to be able to understand that you're still not in control of your brand. So one of the reasons Live Streaming Masters tagline is bring your brand to live is because even though you're bringing your brand to live like I am right now to you on Facebook, you're still not controlling your brand. Even me doing this, I'm not totally in control of my brand. If Facebook decides that this content is not appropriate or whatever, YouTube says, you know what, you mentioned chocolate, I don't know, whatever. They have the option to say, you know what, we can't put any ads on this because you said something that the ads are not happy with or whatever. Hence, you're kind of given the boot or you're damaged or, they hinder your capability of expanding because they can just change the algorithm whenever they so please. And next thing you know, you're not showing up the way you used to and so on. So because of that, that causes some issues for a lot of content creators. And sometimes they're on the flow, they're doing their thing, their business seems to be increasing, and then all of a sudden, hey, why aren't we getting as many people showing up? Or how come we're not getting as many hits as we used to? And it's because something changed, right? Like right now, groups on Facebook is getting hit. Why? What did they do wrong? Well, Facebook decided that they want to do things in a certain way, and they changed the rules. And all of a sudden, what's weird is when a change like that happens, let's say with YOLO Boxes, YOLO Lives groups, or Ecams groups, or vMixes groups, everybody's like, hey, what did you do? What did you break? And the hardware is like, wait, we didn't break anything. We didn't change anything. And then they later find out that it's the platform that they're using and changes were made. And all of a sudden, you're not able to stream. You're not able to go live. You're not able to do certain things. You're not able to make the money you're making and so on. And all of a sudden, what's up, Ina? How are you? So that becomes a pain. So what if you had the capability of controlling your own brand? What if you've dedicated, now keep in mind, you have to start somewhere, right? So you're able to use these social media platforms to start. You get to practice. This is practice. Being able to go live on Facebook and YouTube is practice. We are literally in the beginning stages of what you have no clue what you've entered. I have, because since 1997, when I started live streaming, I knew this technology, this capability was going to be the future of content creation. Being able to go live and it's free or it's low cost or it's using something that fits in the palm of your hand. When I started, none of that existed. I was Frankensteining computer parts and other pieces and cables and mix minus and all this stuff that the high-end guys used to have and would cost $250,000 plus, sometimes $1 million just to get a studio. The first studio I did, 1997, was a multi-million-dollar studio, and they couldn't stream because, well, they were streaming, but you guys only had 56K modems or 33.6K modems. You were not able to receive the beautiful content that was being created. And they wanted to live stream entertainers and rappers and all this stuff. And the company I was doing this stuff with, just the technology wasn't there yet. And that's when I realized, but when it is, this is going to be powerful. I mean, you're able to become your own television station. And that is where the birth of everything that I'm doing started in terms of a thought, a concept. So back in 2002, 2003, I knew streaming was still going to be too difficult as much as I was learning how to build my own little studio type thing. And I started what's called back then a DVD magazine. DVD was an easy way of creating content and delivering it. But the concept was that the magazine had to be then sold in retail stores where they sold magazines. It was a lot of work, same kind of parameters, your multi-camera content creation, recording, editing, graphics, the whole 9 yards, but the delivery was on a DVD, and you can choose what you wanted to see in the menu of that DVD. So I was using like DVD Studio Pro, which was a Mac application. I was creating professionals, menu structures and all that type of stuff, really complex things. Little did I know, then it would go to Blu-ray, and then it would go to streaming, and then here we are. But at the same time, I knew about streaming, and I just kind of adjusted accordingly. So I know I'm yapping a lot, and I apologize, but sometimes I do these videos as a memory so that 10 years from now, when I look back, I'm like, see, I was talking about this. In 10 years, what you're seeing right now will be completely different. What you're seeing right now is the birth of what was performing on radio, what was the original black and white TV. What we are experiencing now in terms of content, and you see Dr. Tachi doing it, and Dr. Vibe, Owen, yeah, they're talking a lot of people are talking to companies to create content, and as do I. A lot of the content creation that they're conversing about is marketing your business. I'm in a little bit of a different field. I sure understand that, yes, you can use these same tools to create your content to market your brand, but by no means am I thinking that that's the future. It's not just marketing. That's a piece of the pie. The grand plan is content itself. So if you can imagine tuning into your Netflix movie and then realizing, you know what, there's an enhancement product to that movie where the movie stars are being interviewed and you get to learn more. And guess what? They call that now a podcast. It used to be your late night TV show. So what is a late night TV show? Those late night shows where they're marketing movies and they have the actor come in for like 5 minutes and they laugh a little bit, do a joke, and then they say, well, tell us about the next project you're working on. That's a big ass commercial. Well, now you're kind of getting along the lines of what I'm talking about. So podcasts, your YouTube videos, all the type of stuff that we currently watch, to me, is going to be the future of your next thing you tune in on your television. So what I do is once I realize something like that, and I'm going to get to your comments there, Anna. Once you realize that this is what's happening, delivery was the problem. Now, Vimeo tried to create an OTT technology, but they didn't market it very well. It wasn't kind of what mic is on your desk? You're asking questions at random. Hold on a second. This is the one I've been using forever. But the key to what I'm talking about is that you start improving on the quality of your content. Sometimes that requires slightly better tools. So what does that mean in terms of slightly better tools? Well, Ecamm right now, I think, does a great job as to giving you the visuals that you're looking for and animations and video playback and all that type of stuff. YOLO, I think, does a great job as well as creating content. In fact, one of my clients that has an OTT channel, they do about 20 shows a week, and it's all using YOLO boxes. Why? Because it's easy to use. It records your video. You can ISO record each individual camera. You can re-edit the show if you want to. But the key is that when it's streaming on my platforms, on my technology, you can do it live. It looks like a TV show live, right? All real time. But the key differences is that once it's done, we have AI that will strip the audio and release it to all your podcasts after it all. The AI does also the title and the description. So you're just focused on your podcast, and then you say goodbye later, everybody. And then all of a sudden, within minutes, it's already released to all the different podcast platforms as audio only. But on your OTT or your channel, it's available right now for people to watch live or shortly after you're live as another piece of content on your television network, right? So here you are, instead of it being on YouTube and relying on YouTube's algorithms and advertising and stuff like that, you can have your brand as a downloadable app on a phone or television, and you're capable of having people watch your brand, be a fan. We have the ability of having a live broadcast with a chat, and I can explain a lot more, but it gets more detailed if we ever have like a conversation in person. And you're capable of having all the same engagement. What's up, Joe? Very cool. So same engagement. Now, here's what the next gen is. Now, let's say you have created this channel. You're not ready for OTT. You're just getting there, but your content quality is high. You're using simple tools. You're able to keep your costs down, because that's a key. Keeping your costs down, not having to buy a $1,000 camera, not having to buy, like even this microphone, I think it sounds okay. This microphone cost me $100. A lot of people in YouTube are telling you, buy that $400 mic. I can assure you that it does not sound that different. There's a lot of high quality mics that you don't have to super invest in. Does it look good in camera? I don't know. You tell me. Now, this could probably use a foam replacement. That's on me. But that's, a $2 purchase or whatever. Long story short, I will offer the capability of not only allowing you to have your own channel if you're ready for it, because that's the key. I'm not suggesting that everybody should have a channel right away. No, you got to grow into this. If you're going to compete with, well, you're not going to compete with the Nexus and Amazons, but you're going to give your audience the opportunity to know your brand deeper than if you just threw a YouTube channel together. And you're able to control your audience, see exactly what the numbers are, and then be able to get advertising that's appropriate, right? And you control that. I appreciate that. Well, you know what? I'm going to improve my little look here. So we're going to do a little bit of this. There we go. And now we have a slightly better background. My apologies for having it be in the shadows. I just wanted to have a slightly better background for when I was doing something like this. But here, this is my iPad, a neat way of just being able to include more content. I was basically showing off some of the video content that I was demonstrating. So an example, there we go. So some of the stuff that I've been editing recently to show off some of the stuff that is out there. Hold on, I don't know why this is not playing. Probably because my internet is pooey. And I'm going to show you in a second what I mean. Oh, there we go. So, all right. So here, for example, is Epiphan, which is, let's say, Oh, didn't want that to happen. So here, for example, is one of the brands that I was showing off, which I sell. You'll be back. All right. Thank you, Joe. So there's lots of technology, right, to create content. For churches, some tools might work better. For schools, other tools might work better. For schools, let's say recording of a play, sometimes they're not allowed to because of copyright or whatever. But, performances, the athletics, all sorts of stuff, sports, there's different tools to do certain things. And I offer the large variety of tools that's available right now. And I want those who are using those tools to get the right tools to start improving as soon as possible on the quality of their content creation. Now, let's say you're doing sports. Let's say you're a local high school. Or let's say you're a national sport. Or I'm trying to come up with other explanations. Maybe you're a church that has now slowly entered the mega church world. Well, if your content's that great, there's a couple options you can do. You can create an OTT platform, which I can offer you, or you can have, let's say, a fast channel. Now, a fast channel is basically a free channel to the public. That's kind of like television. If you tune into ABC, CBS, that's basically almost considered a fast channel. It's free for you to access, especially if you have antennas, but you're able to then watch it, and advertisements cover the cost of the channel. We can offer that to the content creator. So you have, let's say, a show or a church service or, content, and I will be able to then offer to you the opportunity to have a fast channel. The cool thing is that you no longer have to have your own downloadable app. What we'll do is negotiate the deal for you to be on, let's say, Pluto TV, or if you have a Roku, that they have their own, let's say, television channels that you can tune into, which a lot of them are local channels or nationwide channels. You can do that with Amazon as well if you have Amazon Prime. So this Tubi, free something, freebie. I think it's called freebie. Anyway, those are called fast channels where you're just tuning in and it looks like cable, but it's just nothing but a bunch of fast channels. Imagine that if you're creating that much content, either as a podcast network or a major YouTuber or a major content creator, being able to have your content side by side with ABC News or side by side with other fast channel networks. That's what we're talking about. And then if you still continue to gain audience and you still continue to gain followers and you still continue, then you can create your OTT platform at that point where you have even more control. So that's kind of what we're talking about. And that's kind of what the future is. The ability for you to access your audiences in every way that a normal television network or movie company can access that audience. And you can then later choose to be on a nationwide basis, international basis, worldwide basis. And that growth, as much as you can probably do that a little bit on YouTube, you just don't control your brand. And that here is where I come in. So I know there's a bunch of comments, so I am going to take a look at some of these comments because some of them may apply to what I'm talking about, some of them may not. But you know what? This is part of engaging with the community. So I've always been ahead of the curve here in portable audio video excellence. Thank you. Yes. Because of my experience in film and television, my desire to have talent reach the masses, it started with music. Tons of great independent musicians. If you follow my Lounge Network YouTube page, you'll see that I interviewed a lot of musicians and talents. Some of them never got the opportunity because the way the music industry was set up at the time was not conducive to an independent being able to reach the masses. As time went on, they were. But technology is what changed that. And so I decided to help create some technology that will allow you guys who are independent but great and talented to be able to reach the masses with the least amount of mountains to jump over. And so that's kind of where I come from. Backpack studio, major gear. So it wasn't a backpack studio. It was actually something I can just hold in my hand. The ability to hold in my hand this very system that I'm using right now and walk in a convention center with great quality cameras. In fact, the same cameras. What's up, Lindsay? How are you? With great cameras, just like the ones I was using for the video recordings that I just showed, and so on. So it's incredible what's available now, the portability of all those things, and being able to do a full-blown interactive show as you're walking around and doing content the way you want to. You caught good footage there in Las Vegas. Thank you very much. Noticed that it was a lot more laid back kind of vibe. Good choices. Thank you. You help others become live stream masters on your own website, hub blog. Yeah, I did start originally with websites, but we're a world now that websites are just not enough. You need to access where people are watching content, and I just personally don't go to a web page to watch stuff. I go to an app. I go to my TV, especially my smart TV. There's another strategy that I'm coming up with. I don't even know if I'm ready to announce anything, but you know what? My community, many people don't even watch the whole video, so I'm going to say it anyway. Imagine having your content stream in a car. Not as audio, but as video. So Netflix is doing that now, and this is not what I'm trying to show off here. This is just more video content. So I'm negotiating something for that now. So BMW's high-end cars now have those screens in the back, maybe a screen on the passenger seat, and they're able to tune into their movies and stuff like that, laid-back entertainment, that type of stuff, instead of just your television. I mean, not just television. Instead of just your CarPlay and stuff like that, where you can only listen to podcasts. Well, now and the future, entertainment is going to be everywhere. Cars are going to be self-driving cars. Are going to have entertainment in the back seats. They're going to have entertainment in the front. I want to be able to be among the first to offer your content on those seats. So that's something I'm working on now. Nobody's going to care right now. I'm not creating something that's new and different. It's not patentable, but it exists, and we'll see how that works. If you're not paying for the platform, you are the product, not the platform. Yes, that's probably something that some marketers have said. It's not about paying for the platform. The platform's making money off of you night and day. Yes, you're the product. You're always the product. Whether you're paying or you're not paying, you're the product. You want to be the product. You're not creating content to not be a product. You're not creating content to just be like, I'm just throwing some entertainment here and there. And my brother says hello back. What's going on, George? So that's my brother in the comments. So it goes beyond just being the product. You're creating content to offer solutions, to offer entertainment, to offer a different perspective. So there's lots of reasons why people create product. Maybe you're sports, you're doing sports. That is both a product, entertainment. You get to learn some strategies, whatever it is. That's part of the conversation. Content creation is so broad that it could be a cooking show, it could be a talk show, it could be an interview show, it could be a show about like your feelings and your emotions. It could be a show about what's happening in the world today. It could be the news. So many options. Different tools fit those options differently. I'm very fortunate and blessed to be able to offer nearly all the solutions that appropriately fit each individual market. So that's part of what I've been working on. Let's see. Nice job sponsoring Rick Nahara's show in Miami. All that content was nicely done. I can only imagine the clearance had to deal with. Need to see Rick's vision come to life right in front of your eyes. So what she's talking about is sweet15show.com. Sweet 15 Que Quinceañera is a show happening in Miami. This is the last weekend. Live Streaming Master, my business right there, has been sponsoring it. We help build some of the back end and front end and that type of thing on their technology. But we also have been promoting it, and the actors are phenomenal. The performances, the story is emotional. I went to Miami right before NAB, watched one of their first performances. Wow. Now, I refused to read the script before we went before the first performance. I wanted to be surprised, and what an incredible show. It was hilarious. I was laughing up and down, but it was also very emotional. So it has to deal with family and redemption and taking risks. And I can go on and on. You just kind of have to see the show. We're in the process of discussing. Well, I'm not involved in that process. Sorry, I threw myself in there because I want to be part of the dream, right? In the opportunity to create a movie version of this, and I cannot wait to see if that happens or not. So, keep your eyes open for La Quinceañera. But Sweet 15, Que Quinceañera, hilarious. I'll probably throw a few more videos on my timelines and my stories relating to the show. The actors have been great. I'm actually working with some of the actors. I might have them on my podcast as well. So the podcast will start soon now that all of this is set up. And didn't start it. I didn't want to start it before NAB because I knew I'd be focused on NAB and doing stuff for that. But a little faux pas went to an Apple store where she told the sales guy I wanted to okay. Just trying to keep up with the conversation. Content monetization has always been the goal. Yes. So what mic is on my desk? So this is an Audio-Technica AT2020. I've had it for years. Haven't had a chance to use it. If you ever watched when I was had the studio in the bank for mortgages, we were doing a podcast there. We were using the same type of microphones. They're great mics, and $100 with the arm and stuff. It might be $150. Comes with headphones as well. So there's lots of deals. I do not sell this microphone, but I probably should. I'll try and work on that. Okay, let's see. What else? I wrote earlier, kind of missed the kind of format. This is the kind of format. Oh. Keep going. Be right back. Okay, so, and then I have Joe Husson, who's been a blessing in my life. Joe, thank you for everything if you're still watching. And there's going to be some other great products that I'll be putting on my website soon. I'll be talking about it more. Let me see. Is there anything I can show off here product-wise? There's a couple of things that I covered, that I shot in NAB. Not sure if I will be offering the video content. I shot a lot of stuff. So, just because we're on a live and, this is my personal community, it's not a business webpage or anything like that. Let's see if there's anything kind of cool I can share. Definitely, we walked all of Vegas. It's probably my second or third time walking it all, and I can tell you it is a hip killer. So let's see. There's a couple of brands that I will talk about that I really enjoyed. In fact, Joe, if you're here, you'll probably enjoy this. This is Magewell. I was at the Magewell booth. They were setting up something similar to my portable setup, except it wasn't very portable. They kind of had it all over the place. But that's the Magewell Director, which I'll be showing more of hopefully soon. And that basically is a competitor to the YOLO box, which is what I'm using. It's actually a little bit smaller. A couple of features that they do have, don't have, and so on. So here I am. I'm showing off. They have an OBSBot, which I do sell that camera. And that's me in shot looking at the Magewell. So one of the cool features that they added on the Magewell is the ability to support PTZ cameras right on their device. So really cool feature. One of the things that YOLO is looking to introduce soon, but right now Magewell has that already set up. Another piece of content. So I offer these Magewell capture cards, which are fantastic. Magewell is very well known for these capture cards, both high end and low end. So you can see those are the options there. Then you have HDMI to NDI converters, which is really nice. So those who even know what NDI is, I'm using NDI right now to connect my iPad to my YOLO. So that's another thing. What else can I show you? I mean, the show was fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough. Here, YOLO Box is with their alpha camera. So that's something that I'll be showing off soon and creating content for that. And that's a Micro Four Thirds camera that they are launching. Not available yet, but it is a beautiful piece of equipment. And what's cool is that you can actually choose your own lens on the camera. So you can have whatever depth of field or whatever f-stop you want. You choose the lens and stuff like that. So here is one of my favorite. Here, I'm going to show you this way without me there. So here's a podcaster or YouTuber, or probably both, but he does a lot of technology reviews. And so he was there at the YOLO Live booth where, Frank, who is the American head of YOLO Live right now, was delighted to entertain this influencer. So what else can I tell you? The tech was off the chain. Here's Blackmagic, the Blackmagic booth. Loved everything they had. I love their high-end equipment. I really am not a fan of their low-end equipment. I think it's junk. So you ATEM users, my apologies, but no, they need to do a better job. Not everything is about buttons. Now, in a professional setting like this, yes, it's all about buttons. That's always how it's been in the TV studios that I've worked at. Here's another cool thing, nothing that I'm going to be promoting, but this is a floor that is a screen. Why? Not sure. But it's there, it's available, and that's some of the cool stuff that's out there. Here's another camera. I'm negotiating a little bit of something with them. I'm looking at them to improve their technology. So this camera will allow you to do a multi-camera switching on an iPad and do your live stream directly. The great thing about this, if you know Logitech's cameras, where you can stream directly from the camera, well, their camera can do the same. Oh, got my air conditioning kicking in, so I apologize for the noise. I forgot to turn it off. One of the cool things about their camera is the ability to zoom. Their zoom is really powerful. I think it's a 200 times zoom, not exactly sure. But as time goes on, and this is their microphone, they have an 8 mic array built into it. So you don't have to have, let's say, one of these puppies on camera. So interesting technology. They do need to improve on their application. There's some freezes that I keep hearing about, so I'm looking forward to that. Here, Terry Crews was in NAB, and I had the fortune of being able to watch him live in person and so on. So that was a lot of fun. Here is, as I'm going down through my adventures at NAB. So this is iodine. Now, iodine is a product where you have super high-speed hard drives. Now, they recently are I was selling them, and for some reason, something broke down. I don't know why, but I'm no longer selling them. But I do believe in their product heavily. It is a super powerful, high-end solution for filmmakers, 3D animators, and so much more. Was my audio off? You know what? I didn't even check to see if my audio was going to be off when I switched cameras. But whatever. Here, let me check. Okay, yeah, good. So, perfect. All right. So, just want to make sure. Man, I we had some great events that I attended, some great meetings that we had. in Atomic Golf, and we also went to Top Golf in Las Vegas. So a lot of fun there to be had by all. So great experience. Las Vegas was fantastic. I attended more parties than I normally do. So here's another location that we went to. Actually, no, this is Atomic Golf. So this is the behind the golf courses. Really cool locations. Beautiful, beautiful. So I appreciate greatly those who invited me. This was more of a private event because it had to do very specifically with content distribution. And so it was some of the meetings that I had there. Your audio is okay. Thank you so much, Anna. So what else can I share with you? Now, this was the other location. Actually, is this the same location? Yeah, this is the same location when the sun set. So the mountains are beyond the fence. Beautiful, 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 and a lot of cool technology on golfing. Who would have thought that? So here was the location where we had our little private event and meeting. We were launching an OTT platform. And here is from the ground floor what it looked like. And it's just cool. It's cool to have meetings in locations like this because entertainment begets entertainment, and that's part of it was not a vacation, unfortunately. Did you see Arnel Miago? Yes. I did spend quite a little bit of time with Arnel, who's my buddy that I've known for a very long time in New York, and then he moved to Vegas. So here's me walking through, let's say, a casino. I'm not a big fan of casinos, I must say, but everything literally is casinos over there. So one thing I object to in casinos is that smoking is allowed, and my chest and my throat were not very thrilled with that. So what else can I tell you? Here's us negotiating some deals. Not sure if the deals will go through, but definitely in the process of doing some negotiating. My ability to offer certain services and technology have a very limited scope, meaning that not every manufacturer is going to agree with my understanding of the markets, and because of that, they all may not agree to let me sell their products. So, and another thing is that I have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of sales per product for them to even be like, yeah, we'll let you sell our stuff. And if you've watched my content, I'm not a big pusher of product on my content. Yeah, I might show off certain product that I use consistently, but it doesn't mean that, like, just because I'm using a YOLO box every day doesn't mean that I think you should. So whenever I have my sit-down meetings as my consultant stuff with other companies, I'm not always saying, hey, you should get a YOLO box. So just so that it's clear, they might say, we want to do a international news broadcast, and we want to be able to have our studios, blah, blah, blah. And I might say, you know what? I know just the tool. And then I'll suggest a vMix box or a TriCaster solution, which now is called Visrid, or even Frankenstein some solutions together. For example, I might do a vMix solution that is also working in conjunction with the Epiphan, which I was just showing. And so the Epiphan has their cloud-based solutions that will access each piece of hardware, and then a broadcaster can choose which one he's going to tap into and then make changes. They can also do camera switching and that type of stuff through the cloud and so on. So I may be a guy that just shows up with the simplest of gear because I just want to talk to you. But I can assure you that I am very familiar with all the applications and all the hardware, how to connect them, what does what, how to get it to a distribution platform, whether it includes television as well as all your social media platforms. not everything does all that. You might say, hey, I want to be able to do that with StreamYard. And I'm going to be able to say to you, that's not going to work for you. So at some point, some content creators are going to scale to such an extent that you're basically another ABC News or another CNN or, another broadcaster of types. So just wanted to kind of make sure that that understanding was clear. All right. I know it was a work trip. Glad you had more fun this year than other years. I've always had fun. It's one of the things that I kind of look forward to because I'm a geek, because I want to make sure that all my predictions, a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is ahead of its time. A lot of the stuff that I'm trying to present and how I'm trying to present it is ahead of its time, between about 5 to 10 years usually. And some of the technology is not there yet, which is why on some applications or some hardware manufacturers, I am offering the knowledge of, hey, this is probably what you want to add into if you want to survive the next 5 to 10 years, because that's the future. And they may be like, well, no, we thought this was the future. And then I'll be able to say, nah, that's not really where it's going. I'm pretty sure it's that way. And some may agree, some may not agree. Those who do agree make those adjustments, and now here they are. Others will say, oh man, I didn't know that was going to happen. And now when I go to NAB, I'm like, told you, you're kind of behind there, buddy. And so that's kind of some of the things that happen. So what else can I see? Let's see. Work trip. There's a new hotel opening in Scottsdale. Is that in New York? Or is that in Las Vegas? Glad you show off the gear to let us get familiar. Yeah, because I don't really see. All right, so I could easily be the marketer guy. And I could say, hey, you guys, you need to use more video content for your marketing because that's how you reach your, et cetera, et cetera. And then I'll do a master class, and then I'll do my class above the class, and then there's the, I'll have my groups and this and that, and then I'll give you access to me for $50 a day, or I don't know, whatever it is that a lot of these guys do. And yet they're all going to just stay with the same gear. And that's fine. And it may work, but I'm about, okay, well, look, the future is this. You're over here. I want to give you a pathway that gets you to this future without you having to upgrade on a consistent basis, because that's eventually what you're going to do, right? So some of these software applications, and that includes some of the gear, right? You're paying monthly, and then you kind of get the upgrades as they go along. Some have already had the technology, have already incorporated it, and you don't have to pay on a monthly basis. And I can go on and on and on with this discussion. The key is that my perspective is a little bit different. I've already worked in film and television, so I kind of know what they're doing. And I know that you all can get to the quality of that, because even though a lot of it is your story, and yes, your brand and your transparency and all those wonderful words that are being used in the marketing world to kind of get you to get into their groups and their sessions and their masterclasses and all types of stuff, which I call it, I'm a consultant and I will teach you all this stuff. And that's that. And it'll be one-on-one compared to, hey, group settings. You can ask each other questions and stuff like that. That's great. But I'm in the field, and I don't know. I just cut to the chase and get straight into what you need. So, again, I'm not knocking the group things and stuff like that. Some people need major hand-holding, and there's a solution for that. I'm not trying to give that solution. I'm trying to get certain people, or certain content creators, whether it's a TV studio, a newspaper, a radio station, a church, a school, or a content creator that's like, you know what, I'm ready for the next level. Or even, you know what, I have this type of content that I have access to a ton of professionals, but I want to have the gear to really get me going so I can focus on the content. That's where I'm at. That's where I'll be. And then I'm going to give you that pathway to be able to reach the masses in droves. Yes, you can reach 100,000 people on YouTube but you're competing with 20 million videos a day on YouTube, and that's great. Majority of those YouTubers will never have a channel, OTT channel, or are not creating content for that purpose. So the good thing is, I'm not here saying get rid of those channels. You will need YouTube and you will need your social media to make anything you're doing succeed. That's just the truth. They are reaching the masses, but you can use that to reach and move your masses to where you gain the most. All right, more and more comments. Let's see. Appreciate hearing you talk about whatever. Gear, abs, shooting the breeze. And the geek shall inherit the earth. Okay. Scottsdale, Arizona, same crowd as Las Vegas. No gambling. No. Yeah, I'm not going to Arizona. Don't like their politics. Which iPhone 14 Pro Max or 15 Pro Max camera? If you're talking about gear, if you're just looking to start with a cell phone, which is literally the best gear you can start off with, 15 Pro Max, bar none, no question. Reason, number one reason, USB-C. Yes, Android's had USB-C forever. Totally understand. But you got an amazing camera. You can shoot in RAW. You can shoot not only in RAW, but also log, which means you have the ability to then color correct using applications. So, for example, I'm using Final Cut. So here, for example, let's see if I can show you. So here's Final Cut on my iPad, which, believe it or not, I've been using. So if I go inside here, you can see that I have a timeline here and so on. And so I can move, So that's one. But in this video, I have a bunch of other videos. So what's cool is the ability to take one video. I can have graphic elements that I've included. And to make consistency, all I have to do is change the in-between edit. So the intro will be the same, the outro will be the same, the graphic elements will be the same, but the in-between will be different. So I can have videos about a variety of different products and just edit the product, still maintaining the intro, the outro, and so on. So here I have, let's say, the YOLO. I'll go into edit mode here. And it's Final Cut Pro, yes, inside of the iPad, but it is not the same Final Cut Pro that you are used to on the Mac. So, yeah, there's a bit of a difference between the two applications, just to let you know. So let me edit my picture-in-picture. I'm going to make myself a tad bit smaller and move myself to the top up here. Good. So now we're going to do this. There we go. So now, here in the same video, and I think it's freezing on me, so let me get out of that and unfreeze, because I probably have a lot of stuff going on here. All right, here we go. So there it is. So I'm going to edit. And so here I have the original cut. That's the ending. And then I can move over here. Boom, boom, boom. Let me make this a little bit smaller. There we go. So we talked about the camera. We talked about a bunch of different gear. And then we have the outro, right? And not only that, but the iPad that I'm using is an M2, which means the processing power is really strong. And I also have a lot of memory in it. What I don't like about Final Cut Pro, since we're just talking about gear, is that the Final Cut Pro will not allow me to edit from a hard drive. I can access video from the hard drive, but I cannot edit from the hard drive. So when I want to edit from a hard drive, I'll use yet another application on the iPad. I almost never edit now anymore from my computer. So LumaFusion is what I've been using if I want to edit. See, right now it's saying missing video because I don't have the hard drive attached. But this is actually where I was editing some content for Sweet 15. So all the video footage for Sweet 15 was coming from a hard drive. And I'm able to, have a 2 terabyte hard drive in my pocket, pull out my iPad, connect it, and from the palm of my hand, edit some really high-end 4K video, and then edit it out back to the hard drive. So my iPad's memory stays completely intact. I'm not eating up all this hard drive space, and it could be a ton of 4K video and so on. So another cool thing you could do with LumaFusion. LumaFusion is a fantastic high-end professional application. Supports 4K, supports log. You can also bring in logs, and logs is your color. I'll get a little technical for the sake of being technical. You can have like the iPhone, or you can have the Pocket 3, or you can have your DSLR shoot in what's called log. And what log is basically it just absorbs all the information that it sees, right? Most cameras and most iPhones and whatever, even including Android, when they see what you see on the screen is an interpretation after it does all these calculations of color, all these calculations of light, all these calculations of shadow and darkness and depth and all that type of stuff. And then what you get is the end result after it does all that calculation. What log does is say, I'm not going to calculate. I'm just going to absorb everything. And then later in your editing software, you can choose. You can choose how light, how dark, the shadows, the color, you want to make it more green or more red, more skin toned, whatever you want to do, you'll be able to do that in your editing software. Now, another application I use in my iPad, if I can pull it up, is DaVinci Resolve. So DaVinci Resolve is a fantastic application because it originated as an application for color correction more so than anything else. It also allows you to record, edit from a hard drive. Again, not hard drive not attached. So obviously you can see that I edit in all these different applications. And so what I'm doing now is adding the other applications. A lot of people don't know that hidden inside of the DaVinci, it actually has all of DaVinci. So what they've done is on the iPad, so it's the exact application as you have on your Mac, right? So your Mac has color correction, has timeline editing, has audio editing, has compositioning. So you can actually do what After Effects does, probably not to the extent of After Effects. So it has everything you need to create a movie. On the iPad, it said, well, let's not go too far. Let's just give them the ability of editing the video and some color correction. But hidden inside are the other applications. Now, maybe they just felt, maybe on the next iPad we'll release those applications. Maybe it needs more RAM or more processing or who knows what. But the iPad is as powerful as the Mac M2. So I said, nah, I'm going to show it off. So here it is. So now you got your timeline editor. You have your color corrector, which is there. Here's your audio editor. And then here's whatever else it does. So, all the features, all the tools are here for your editing. They highly suggest not to use them. And so I'm going to say the same thing. Use at your own risk if you figure out how to get those extra applications to show. There. So that's just, hey, Heidi, howdy. So I'm in my studio in Queens, New York, and I'll be doing more podcast stuff here. I'm just starting to, now that I'm back from Vegas, I'll be doing some celebrity interviews, some singer, music artists, some other stuff that you guys will all enjoy. And we're going to talk about their story of how hard it was for them to succeed, but all the decisions that they made to get where they are. And it's basically what everybody else doesn't talk about. So I want to talk about it. So those are the video editing applications. I got Final Cut, I got LumaFusion, and I got DaVinci. And there's actually another one that I do sometimes use, but it's rare that I use it. It is CapCut. Now, the desktop, they've done some updating. I'm not going to do this. Record everyday moments, whatever. Just randomly answering long, blah, 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 long in a minute. And YouTube, I'll do YouTube. There we go. Okay, they keep asking questions. Hold on. Trends, I'll just do trends. There we go. There we go. Now, so some of you may be familiar with this application. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even showing you what I was doing. Some of you may be familiar with this application in terms of doing like little snippets in your Instagram and that type of thing. I don't care to do that, but let's just say I don't even know if I have anything. The project requires update note. Okay, I'm just going to update it. So here now is a timeline. It's not a template that I'm now using. So here's an example of a timeline. I didn't put a lot of stuff in here. But then you have your tools at the bottom. So if you notice all the other gear that I'm using, this is similar to what we're talking about. So you have your audio controls, right? You have your edit. So here's a ton of tools in the bottom for your editing. And it has a lot of extra features that none of the other applications I mentioned even have. So if you're a desktop user, I highly recommend you download CapCut. Now, before you do that, don't run to the desktop yet. Little caveat. So you guys know that right now the government is trying to kind of put a little hurting on TikTok. Now, I have no opinion on that whatsoever. TikTok is TikTok, and it's owned by an Asian company. They do have their servers here in the United States, so they're doing whatever it is that they're doing to try and appease the government. And just so you know, CapCut is owned by the same company. So if you are a person that kind of agrees with the government, and I'm not saying I disagree or agree, but if you agree with the government and you're like, oh, no, my security, oh, no, I don't want to have them access, because here it is, it's on my iPad, and I cannot be sure that the government of China is accessing my contacts, my banking. I don't know. I'm taking the risk. I have it, right? So I'm not here to be a politician or to tell you one way or the other. I'm taking the risk if it's a risk. I don't know if it's a risk. I'm not a programmer. I'm a geek. I enjoy tools. I have the tool. But I thought it'd be fair if I'm telling you, it's completely up to you if you want to give it a try. What I will say is that whoever owns this tool did a freaking good job. Final Cut or DaVinci or LumaFusion, which LumaFusion is going to add some upgrades. I did speak to LumaFusion at NAB, but they got to wake up. Very much like this whole conversation I just had today, live with you guys, in terms of the future of content, is the future of content creation tools. And CapCut is spot on. They are on it like nobody's business. Now, are there other tools that are up there? Sure. But in the desktop version of CapCut, if you pay for Pro, it will do what Adobe has added, which is basically it will hear all the words, it'll type all the words, and you can edit using the words. Cool as hell, yes. But Adobe doesn't have half the tools that CapCut has on the desktop. So they have all these great special effects, great stuff for social media, all these great little animations and all type of stuff, plus the AI to be able to use words and edit with words. I'd rather pay CapCut than Adobe. Now, sure, Adobe's doing other things like Photoshop where you select an image and you can have it create a fake extension to the image, all that other good stuff, sure. But that's not really helping me on my social media. Some of the CapCut tools are. So, check it out, play with it, and there's things that you can do that's insane, like that are really fun and cool and so on. So, those are some of my editing tools for those who are interested. Once again, I'll show you the CapCut. I'll select one of these things, and I'll go into edit mode and look at all these bottom tools. There's nothing like this in Final Cut or DaVinci or anything like that. Yes, they have other high-end tools, but this is designed for the content creator. It's not designed for a video editor, filmmaker, commercial, television. That's where the differences in the market are. But what's happening is that you guys don't care. You guys enjoy what CapCut is outputting. You guys are enjoying the fun, the laughter, the family-oriented, the storytelling that tools like CapCut and all these others are coming out with. And you, the storyteller, have access to the tools in an affordable manner that before just didn't exist. So do you want to look like a professional video editor as if you're creating the next Rebel Moon movie? Or do you want to have tools that basically give you Rebel Moon cutting, but with all the extra features and technology and graphics and visuals that are fun and enjoyable that everybody who's watching can get a good laugh or a good cry? Storytelling is up to you. The tools is what lets you tell the story outside of your story itself, right? So, okay, comments. So anyways, you need a vacation, business type thing. And I did see Arnell. So it wasn't a vacation. I literally was working in and out, even after work, even after the show. We were doing events. I was having meetings and stuff like that, of which the results will be shown later. It was work. Okay, hold on. I think I already went through some of these. I scale down. So iPhone 15 Pro Max. Listen to my on my iPad Pro 2. It's nice, good. 15 Pro Max. So camera lenses are fantastic. The ability to be able to create visuals, like I mentioned, D-Log takes everything. You have the ability to edit using the tools I mentioned and making it look the way you want to. And the other benefit on the iPhone with the USB-C is the ability to plug in the same hard drive that I was just talking about. So here I have the iPad, which I'm using multiple applications that allow me to edit with the hard drive. The iPhone allows you to record to the hard drive. Match made in heaven. Other things is LumaFusion also exists on the iPhone. So you can do pro-level editing with that same hard drive, recording it from the iPhone in D-Log, going into LumaFusion inside the iPhone, and then editing it in iPhone. Then export it to the iPhone, plug it into your iPad, open up LumaFusion, and continue the edit. Then, if you really want to go nuts, you can pay LumaFusion, I think it's like $10, to then export to Final Cut Pro. So you can then edit in LumaFusion, export XML to Final Cut Pro on the hard drive, plug it into your computer, turn on Final Cut Pro, and all your cuts are still there. Whew. Okay, so that's that. All right, what else can I tell you? I find the best stuff. No, I don't. I sell the best stuff. How was Miami and Rick's show? It looks like it was a hit. Theater is in the round is tricky to do. Looks like it worked. Yeah, so it was specifically written. Let me go here. So the show that we are speaking of, most of my content, air conditioners on again. Anyway, just bear with me. I know it's annoying. So go into content. Let's see. I did erase, didn't I? Where can I show this? How can I show this? So let me see. Bear with me. I'm going to see if I can show something related to... here we go. Come on now. There we go. All right, so here goes. I'm going to show a little cut I did. I think I used LumaFusion, and what it is, it's okay. AC doesn't sound... okay, not a problem. So, and those who are here, please say hello so I know you're here and I can, celebrate with you. I'm going to show you a cut that I did of the show. No, why am I doing this? I keep pressing buttons that I'm not supposed to be pressing. And I will try to have the audio as well. So bear with me. All right, so I'll keep quiet, and I'm going to play the video. Here goes.
Gracias por continuar con nosotros en Hoy Día. Y usted sabe que la fiesta de 15 años es una de las tradiciones más increíbles entre los hispanos. Tú me decías que a ti te rentaban de chambelán, ¿verdad?
Yo fui chambelán varias veces. Me tocó ser y seguido. De repente era de un fin de semana, luego el siguiente. Me tocó el rollo del vals. Y a mi hija, por ejemplo, que también también han ido evolucionando. Te piden fiesta, te piden viajes, hay unos que piden coche. Pero la fiesta de 15 años es
lo máximo.
Lo mejor.
No se diga el vestido y demás.
Ándale.
Y fíjense que hay una obra de teatro muy divertida aquí en la ciudad de Miami que ha estado recorriendo la fiesta de 15 años.
All right, so basically this is the TV channel. This was broadcast on the news, morning shows, and the Latin television networks. All right, here's the fun part.
Look like máscara. Edito máscara is impressive.
It's true. Yo lo sabía. You are alive.
You're still alive even with a drinking problem.
Hey, I don't have a drinking problem. Mary buy me drinks all the time, no problem.
Such a screwed up family. I mean, it's a miracle I didn't end up a stripper with daddy issues. I mean, all I needed was encouragement and support.
Baby, you would have been the best stripper ever.
Hey, $500,000.
Oh my God. It makes you a Kardashian.
A girl may fall in love many times, but she only gets one quinceañera.
No quinceañera.
No,
No money.
no.
No joda. No, que yo soy un superstar internacional.
I might.
That's my baby girl. Yes! Bad news. Máscara is out. Está libre.
He's my new banker. And he's compounding my interest.
All right. I can't give too much away, but I can tell you that the critics loved it. The audience loved it. I loved it. It was fantastic. It was hilarious all the way through.
George Jimenez.
And now my brother's trying to call me again. Probably has to do with dinner, but that's my guess. So there was no grandfather, and the mother was actually the grandmother. So she had great laughs. She was hilarious. And hold on, let me just make sure. All right, great. I knew it. It was dinner. He was asking, what do you want for dinner? And there, I told him. There. So, that being said, the characters were fantastic. Each one was great. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Family, even when it's live, has to be done. Okay, so the characters were great. It was written specifically for the purposes of bringing in the audience as if the whole thing was a Sweet 15. And I think mission was accomplished. So every actor is a well-known soap opera star or something in the Latin world. So Mexican actors, Cuban actors, and so on. And I was able to sit with them and meet with them and go be in the dressing room and all that type of stuff. It was a lot of fun. Me and Rick, speaking of dinner, I'm off to get mine. Glad. Thank you very much for joining. Wow, I missed a lot of comments. So thank you, Heidi, for joining. All right. And yeah, I guess I have to leave soon too to have some dinner. Quickly, let me go down the line of comments. LumaFusion, cool. Thanks for that. Watching on my iPhone 11, so reconditioned, blah, blah, blah. Okay. The inappropriate jokes I could do. That's funny. My dad, 15, captured color and sunsets. Yeah, actually, I used my iPhone 15 for the eclipse, and those came out great too. Hello, Patty. How are you? How do you owner in the house? Let the shenanigans begin. Anyway, Mac M2 less powerful than your iPad? No. So the Mac M2 and the iPad have used the same processors, although I have a Mac M1 and an iPad M2. Since I use my iPad way more than I use my laptop, I don't care. It's got more processing power. So that was the Calle Ocho show. No, the Calle Ocho show, I don't know if you're asking about the iPad, was an older generation iPad, about 2 or 3 generations older. So the fact that if I was to do it now, it'd be insane. Did you eat yet? No, I did not eat yet. No, that's funny that kind of came up earlier. CapCut, okay, good to know. Thanks for the over-the-shoulder shot. I don't know, I don't know the shoulder shot. Have to learn how to edit, but my phone, my most powerful weapon. So yeah, if you have your phone and that's all you have, you don't have like a big computer, that type of stuff, then I highly recommend LumaFusion. It does cost like I think $20 or $30. Well worth it though. And then if you have an iPad, you can download it in the iPad, and that same $30 covers both, right? And then if you get a newer iPad, let's just say, you can then add it to that. It still counts. They're at least more subtle. I'm just trying to read through the comments, and I'm just putting them all on screen regardless. I'm going to have to check the replay for what I missed earlier. Yeah, I said a lot earlier. So anybody who's interested in the whole formula of what I'm doing and the future of what I'm going to be offering, and Fraser, I know you're here. I'm going down the comments now, and I'll say hello in a moment. I do not know how to deal with graphic art formats. Well, CapCut kind of handles some of that because a lot of the graphic elements that they do, for example, an animated subscribe button, it's already in there, so you don't have to do any of that. As an example, I see all the tools at the bottom. I don't understand what they are yet. I'll see if I have a moment to quickly go through them. Cool. I'm going to have to make the jump to USB-C soon. Sounds like, yeah, USB-C is just good for being able to add a hub, for example. So, I'm sorry, I'm walking away from the microphone, but to give you an example. So if you have a computer, like an Apple computer, and you have USB-C on your Apple, or USB-C on your iPad, or USB-C on your PC, you'll use one of these, like a hub, right? So, it gives me more USB ports. So I'll bring that there. There we go. And then, it has a card reader and that type of stuff. But then it also may have your Ethernet port, and it also may have your HDMI right there as an output. And this one's using USB-C. So what's cool about this, or any of the brands that are out there, is that I can plug this into my laptop and my iPad and my iPhone 15. So this will allow me to connect hard drives, audio mixer, USB microphones, memory cards, monitor output from one device using one cable on that one phone or that one iPad. So it's basically a computer. And it's always just been a computer, but now that the processors have pretty much caught up, yeah. In fact, many don't know, the Apple M processor stuff is actually just an upgraded version of the phone memory, phone processor. That's why they left Intel. What they did is they knew that they've mastered the way of having super high performance with very low heat using the phone. The performance was catching up to computers. Now they've surpassed computers. So what they did is they put it in the computer. And now, instead of using Intel processors, which is always hot, the hotter it gets, the slower it gets, well, now it has the ability of being cool, having the memory and everything, because that's what they did on the phones, right? You have your RAM and you have your hard drive and everything all on one chip. That's what iPhone was set up as. Well, they just took that technology, made it a little bit better, and put it on a computer, and they put it in the iPad as well. So that's kind of what all that is about. Okay, so sounds good. Wait, I edited this? If you're talking about the video I just showed you, yes. That's all edited on an iPad, I think on an airplane, flying back from Las Vegas. You needed a translator. Yeah, I know. It's the Spanglish is kind of the big deal there. So as far as me miking them, no, none of the actors were mic'd. So the footage was shot on iPhone, on the Pocket 3, and using the built-in microphones that are there. What I did using the applications that I just talked about on the iPad, there are features that help you enhance the voice and cut out all the outside noise. And over time and practice, you learn how to do that. So even though you hear the laughter from the audiences, I'm trying to hone in on the voices of the actors, even though I was 10, 15 feet away. The good thing is that because the actors are aware that they are inside of a hall and that all the audience members are not next to a speaker, they spoke clearly and loudly while they're acting, making them the professionals that they are. Very much like Broadway play actors and so on. So that is kind of, what the scenario was, and I was able to hone in on that and try to make it as clear as possible. Obviously, the audio could be way, way better. I did not know I was going to be editing the footage that I was shooting. So yes, I also shot a majority of that footage as well. And I had no I wasn't shooting for the purposes of creating that snippet. So that's another thing. Fortunately, everything was shot in 4K, so I was able to crop in and things of that nature in HD so that you got to see slightly different angles and clips and stuff like that and edit it all together. Again, all on iPad. So there. Love the mom's character. Okay, did that already. Compounding my interest. Great line, Rick. Oh, yeah, you know what? So I think that was ad-libbed. So compounding my interest, I don't think it was from Rick. She is a great actress. Part of the show is focused on bringing in audience members into the show. So the person she was talking to is not an actor. It was an audience member, and just made the show more fun and more engaging and more hilarious. So her off-the-cuff comments shows the professionalism and how good the show really was. They're all marvelous. Yes, no, not a problem. Okay, dinner. I do have to go for dinner. I didn't even know enough Spanglish to keep up. So yeah, so the Spanglish, which was their key component, the show could have been done completely in Spanish, but it wasn't. Because we knew there was going to be some Americans and also, well, not just Americans, but, people who don't speak Spanish. And so it was written in a way that you can keep up in the grand scheme of things on the show. And some things worked even better in Spanish, some things worked better in English, and it just all worked all together. Everybody was laughing all the time. Fraser, I have finally caught up to you. What's up, buddy? How are you? And hello, Patty, once again. Hello, everybody's saying hello. Nice hub. My newer HP laptop, never seen that kind of hub. Well, okay, so there's hubs that are standard USB, which is, this wonderful little size connection. And so you can get a hub that's a standard USB. On Mac and iPad and iPhone, it's going to be USB-C on the new iPhones. What? They weren't milked? That's amazing. Oh, mic'd. They weren't mic'd. And thank you. Yes, the sound, it took a lot of work. I spent probably half the day just on their audio. And then the editing became a lot easier once you can hear what they're saying. Is the entire play on tape? No, it is not. And it won't be. It's a play. So the idea is selling tickets, getting you to show up. Those snippets, are just the smallest example of the hilariousness that is the entire show. You could have had the prompt script in hand. You could have, We're not. That it's a play. So just like Broadway plays are not really televised unless they do something special. Right now, the focus is let's do a movie, and so hopefully we'll have a movie, and there's gonna be some great actors in that movie. Anyway, I just have to work on bulking up my Spanish. It's all good. Well, hopefully the Spanglish is enough to get away with the comedy and so on. So as you can tell, I've been pretty busy. Shortly after Miami, came back to New York, prepared for Las Vegas, went to Las Vegas. You're seeing me edit some stuff from the Vegas trip. And there's going to be a lot more because the Vegas is just the beginning. I'm talking about getting some more tools that I like, that I can sell. ObsBot was one of them. We now sell ObsBot. There's going to be other technologies and tools for all of you who want to expand on your content creation endeavors and distribution. So we improved on our AI for Nexus. For those who don't know who Nexus is, if you are familiar with Hulu and Apple TV Plus and Netflix, I offer the technology, the hosting, the everything, for you to have your own shows, if you have shows, podcast, network, content, whatever it is that you do. If you're that level of content creator, obviously those who are just doing some basic live streams like I am right now, this would not ever be on a show. It would not be on my OTT platform. It wouldn't be on any of that stuff. But what we're doing is allowing you content creators, you podcasters, you who are taking this very seriously and you're focusing on your monetization and you're focusing on your brand, to be able to control your brand, control your audience, and be able to have a platform that you have full control of. And we're going to try and work with you with advertising as well. So that's Nexus Media Group. And that's been something that's been in the mix for a long time. Let's see. So this is the website. Sorry about the graphics, mixing and matching. So if you're interested in just learning a little bit more, I'm going to be adding more details on the website soon because we're also now supporting fast channels, meaning that if you don't want to have your own channel, but you want to have, if you've ever watched Pluto.tv and you tune into any of the channels there, let's say there's a channel for Friends, and Friends is just back-to-back episodes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like you tune in on your cable box. Well, if you have that much content that someone can just tune into your channel and they can see back-to-back podcasts, I can build that for you and have advertising if you have the audience for it. And we'll put you on Pluto TV or other platforms that are available. And that's part of the beginning of this video that I discussed. So working on that, but the key is that it will be free to your audiences, and the advertising is how you monetize. Is it like Netflix? Not Netflix, I'm sorry. Is it like YouTube? It's yours. Your brand, your channel. You control how you want it to be. YouTube, it's their channel with your name on it. And they make most of the money. And they throw some at you if you reach their qualifications. Difference. If they change the algorithm, you have no choice. So that's the game that we're playing. Let's be ahead of the game. Nexus Media Group, that's what it's for. That's what it's about. And me trying to build that future of content for you. Yes, Joe, I am still here. Who am I? I'm a guy that's trying to offer all these different technologies to all of you, the content creators. And man, am I excited for the next year of what's coming up and all the new tools that will be coming out. I mean, most everything's kind of out there that you need for today, right? You have the tools that you kind of need accessible to you, and I can offer them to you. You may be using StreamYard, but then you realize, you know what? I wish I could do multi-camera a little bit easier. Some of you will go out and buy a $600 ATEM. Ooh. It works. It's okay. But there's other tools that are better, that are more portable, that are able to make you be able to be a content creator wherever you so choose without having to plant yourself in one desk. And that's kind of my forte. So I think I'm done. There's more comments. Let me see. Thank you, Anna. A movie would slay. I really think the movie would do well. If you understood the full story of this play, the movie is going to be great. It's going to be funny, hilarious, and there's going to be some serious tones, but really it's about family. And so that's what I loved about the movie, because, me just saying comedy doesn't get the point across. All right. Shout out to Nexus Media Group. Thank you. You're the one that told me about Pluto years ago. Yes. So what's interesting about Pluto was eventually bought by Viacom, which then was controlled by the head of Pluto became the head of Paramount, the Paramount Plus application. And what ended up happening now, if you are watching any of this content behind the scenes world, is now they're trying to sell Paramount. So if I had the money, I would happily buy Paramount. Paramount and I had some great relationships when I was doing Sia, which Anna, in the audience right now, really took advantage of that relationship. We were able to do, let's say, Mean Girls with Danny Trejo, and she was able to come on camera on this platform. She was in the audience and the chat, and then came on camera and talked with Danny Trejo. Anna, since you're still here, what other actors were you able to sit and chat with live while we're showing a movie from Paramount Pictures? Let's see if you can list them. So I know Danny Trejo is one of them. And then I know we did Grease with some of the actors from Grease. Danny Trejo was amazing. Yes, I know. He was. But that Danny Trejo show taught me a lot, which we're implementing some of that we learned. And Marga Gomez, thank you for joining. What else? We had a lot of the actors from Greece. We did, oh my God. Cheech Moran. We did his 40th anniversary of Up in Smoke. We did, I think, the Bad News Bears with Kevin Smith. We did a lot. So quite a few being in the room. So, some of you may just recently started following me, but everything that I'm announcing or everything that I'm talking about today, you've actually been part of the process. Those who have not followed me before, I've been at this for a while. Anna, who's been with me since some of the early days, I was actually started before I even met Anna. When Blab was around, I had already gotten the ball, the everything rolling. But having worked for the entertainment industry, this ain't nothing yet. Andy Garcia, that's right. So I don't remember which movie that was, but, So the idea that we had with the other platform was taking a classic movie from Paramount, showing it again, but bringing in those Hollywood folks on camera. And it's not done the way I would do it here, where we'd have a 2-camera shot. You're able to watch the full movie, full 16:9 or whatever ratio, and then we had a separate portion of the platform where all the actors were live. And they're live in the comfort of their own homes or in a studio, and we had the chat room. And in that chat room, people were able to talk to each other, throw questions, all that type of stuff, and bring any of the audience members on camera. We had a green room where we made sure that those audience members were not naked, right? We don't know if there's any crazy people out there. And then we brought them on camera on the bottom portion, not part of the movie. So we designed an application fully to do this. And so that's kind of what I started with in terms of experimentation. And then now that same type of technology is now incorporated so that you can watch a television show on your television. And on special events, we will have actual actors and talents live while you're either watching it before or after or during, with the chat room, while you're watching your television or on your downloadable app or on your tablet. So what we've done is, instead of it being a social media experience, it's a home experience, complete. And you can have a channel that does that. In fact, my first customer in my platform, I'm going to see if I can log into theirs. So let's go to, I'm gonna go into this live. So here we are. We're gonna, hold on, I'm gonna log in. So we don't want to show the login. And they're usually live at this time. So we're gonna go in here. Some of you have not experienced my platform. So so this is their channel. So this is a podcast network. Okay? They have over 20 million subscribers. When I met them, they have attempted to build their own channel over and over and over again, 5 times, failed each time. They were using YOLO Live to do their productions, the same product I'm using right now. And you can see these are all their different podcasts. It's a podcast network. They have over 20 different podcast shows, maybe even more, and they're adding more. They started with 20 million subscribers in terms of podcast listeners and so on. They were able to bring them into the platform. We built their channel. This is the website version of it, but you can download this on your Apple TV, on your Roku, on all these other television platforms. And this is what you get. Now, you'll notice here there's a red button on the top. It says Live Now, which means they're broadcasting right now. So I'm going to press that, and I'm going to make sure the audio's down. Okay, good. So here they are. This is them. This is their podcast. This is live. And you'll notice here on the side, very much like Sia, we have a chat. So these are the live audience members participating in this live broadcast, just like you are with me now, except they control their brand. They're controlling their brand, how they make money, everything. I can't control that here on Facebook. I don't have 100% control of that. So we built this channel. It took us a while because they had tons and tons of content. What does that mean? All this content. See all these guys? So I'm going to select one, right? And this is, we can watch the most recent episode. But if you go down here, you can see all these years worth of their content since before 2016. And we've uploaded all of their content over the years into this platform, so that all their fans now can just go back and watch all their old episodes, all their seasons. They got more seasons than most television shows. So here, I can go live right now and just watch them. I can write a comment and participate in that conversation. This is what we built, and this is what we can offer to any podcaster or content creator that's available today who knows that they have their, fan base and that they can bring them in. Now, what's cool is we also added a calendar schedule. So Monday, you can see that these are the shows that'll be on Monday. On Tuesday, these are the shows that'll be live. And their schedule is here. And what they can just pop up their YOLO and just go live on their channel on the appropriate hour. And they're not going to go live on, Facebook, because their content is a certain type of content. And they want, now here you can see that there's Gas Live is live now, just the tips. And then up next is High Society Radio. So, and you can subscribe to whatever show. All their shows are here. And they're controlling their brand completely. And this is what we offer. So, I hope you guys got the gist. This is Nexus Media Group offering these technologies for the major content creator. And, I don't show this too often. Maybe I should. And there's other things that we can do. This is not everything. We can build any kind of OTT platform, but we can get you up and running in less than a week, depending on how much content. They had so much content, it took us 3-4 months, and we had to build some special software to even get all their content over. But here we have the AI. Here, when they finish this live, when they're done with this live, it will automatically, with our AI, remove the audio. It'll take the audio and release that to all the podcast platforms. And that's it. It'll automatically listen to the entire podcast, create a description about what the show is about, write a perfect title, perfect for, YouTube or all the podcast platforms. And then you can listen to it maybe 10, 15 minutes later on your favorite podcast application. That's what we built. This is what I've been working on. And it was not easy because Netflix doesn't offer this. Amazon does not offer this. Any of the tools or OTT tools that you see anywhere advertised, including Vimeo, do not have this technology. And I'm only telling you a fraction of the technology. There's a ton of stuff that I added here and a lot of lessons learned from Sia. So I hope that was some, I wanted to end off with a little bit of a bang. Not sure if that was a big bang, but I'm very happy to show all the technology that I'm offering. And this is not even the fast channel. The fast channel is even cooler because it's going to let you do things and be in other platforms. So imagine having your podcast or your show, your YouTube videos, whatever it is that you've been creating for the past 5-10 years, and people can tune in on Tubi or Freeverse, I think it's called. I can't remember that one. It's always tough to remember that one. Or Roku TV, which if you go to Roku, and not the downloadable apps, but Roku itself has its own TV style, cable looking channel choosing, whatever, you're capable of doing that. Well, we have been working on that, and advertising will come with it. So as long as you have an audience. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're just starting, this is not for you. I'm not saying, hey, newbie, you're going to have ads. No, you have to have an audience. And you have to have an established audience that's consistent and that's not purchased. So that's that. So anyway, that's it. I think I'm done for today. Time to go eat dinner. I got to go through all these different business cards that I have to start communicating with all these different corporations so that we can offer you even more. But you know what I need? I need you guys to start looking at what I offer technology-wise. Not this. I'm not talking about distribution. If you need hard drives, I sell it. I know Amazon sells it. I know Amazon sells cameras. I know Amazon. I can tell you, Amazon does not give a crap about you. I am not an affiliate program. I do not offer affiliate. I am not affiliate. I have relationships with every manufacturer that I'm selling. Most of them met me at NAB again. And they know what I'm trying to push and to who. They know that this is for you. Amazon couldn't care less. Now, yes, there's a lot of manufacturers that sell on Amazon. I pretty much match their prices. Yes, you can buy groceries and all that stuff and a camera on your same, platform. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm happy to chat with you, to talk to you about what your platform should be about what your tools to reach your goals can be, and I'll be happy to sell it to you and deliver it to you. I have warehouses on the East Coast. I have warehouses on the West Coast. And we can ship to you quickly. But when you guys are sending me messages, how do you do this? How do you do that? And I'm telling you and offering you answers, and then you go to Amazon to make a purchase. Ouch. That's heartbreaking. So if that's what you're doing, just save me the energy. Go to their groups, go to whatever, and then get your answers that way. But if you're going to ask me, and I can help you, and I can help you grow, I'm going to do that. I'm going to help you guys grow. And I have the pathway to do so. What's up, Julio? Welcome. ¿Cómo estás? Ojalá todo está bien. And also, I'll do this for the Latin market too. South America, in the U.S., whatever. Si hablan español, si hablan en inglés, no me importa. Yo lo vendo todo. And if you're just getting here like Julio, check out the beginning of this broadcast because it's a lot. And I show some stuff. So, all right. So the live just ended, and so we're going to be waiting for the next episode, which should be starting in about 2 minutes. All right. Anna, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much again. And buy some merch too from Garage. So Garage, we'll be starting Garage within the next few weeks. I have to line up the schedule for the next actors, singers, producers, the content creators that we're all trying to emulate, where they get, 1 million views and we're just like, oh, well, I'm starting. And I want you to hear from them all the tough stuff that they had to go through in order for them to succeed, because I want you guys to succeed. So if you look at all the puzzle pieces, I think it all comes together well, and I'm going to do more and more and more because I want this to work for all of you. All right, that's it. I'm done. Have a wonderful day, everybody. And garagethebrand.com is where the podcast episodes that I currently have are. Feel free to check it out. You'll see some of the merch. We are going to be doing some of that merch as a clothing line. So that's another avenue that we're walking through. So that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.